Hi everybody, Ross from Miami's 11. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hitting the bell icon so anytime I put new guys in it. Hitting the bell icon so you make sure anytime we put new content on or I jump on and do a live stream like today. As always, like to think I love your channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. Father's Day. I want to get him some new t-shirts. We need it at the moment. God, I've got Diet Coke down me. This is an Untuck It shirt. It's very, very, very comfy. Or alternatively, you may want to give your dad the gift of freshly shaven testicles. Manscaped, 20% off plus free shipping if you use the promo code WestH20. Why not? Why not? That'll be a fun roast dinner on a Sunday if you give them a ball trimmer and you do the nose whackers and stuff. Why not? It's different, isn't it? It's better than a pair of socks. Anyway, hope everyone is safe and well. Who we got? You got Lindsay. Nice. George, you should be George. You should be in bed. George Beasley, you should be in bed. Florence has been in bed for 45 minutes. I'm going to talk to your mother. Don't worry about that. Gary, hope you are. Kimbo, hello everybody. Hope you are. So it's a new series today. Today's a new start of a new series. The idea is, well, I've done an intro video. So let me do an intro video. I've done it. I might as well just do it. It's quite cool. It's quite good, isn't it? The Greatest Squad. So this is a new series we're going to be doing every week, every other week, something like that. We're going to take a different squad number because if anything's proven the last season for West Ham, it's not necessarily the 1 to 11. It's the squad. And a good squad's, straight, so make sure we get good squads. So that's the idea. Obviously, the Miami's 11, and that's all still going on, but we're going to do the squad. So it's the greatest squad. So every episode, rather, we're going to take one squad number, and we're going to go out and basically go through everybody who's played that position in that squad number. And then you guys get to vote who is going to get that number shirt. And actually what we're going to do is, and I'm just going to do a shout out for Harry as well. Harry Beasley should be in bed as well. What we're going to do is we're going to start from number 14. Because obviously for the majority of West Ham life, so to speak, 1 to 11 is the main things, isn't it? 1 to 11. And obviously that'll be more contentious. Where actually from 14 onwards, it's more squad numbers. And obviously from 92, 93 onwards, 93, 94 onwards, we had squad numbers. Then we had a squad rather than 1 to 11s. Players had squad. So there's a lot of players who may have been 1 to 9 type things, 1 to 11, may well come later on so we can pick them. It all makes sense. It's a bit of fun. It's also interesting to see. We go back. I think there's something like 18 players who have played in the number 14 shirt. That's the number we're starting with today, number 14 shirt. And the idea being is we're going to go through them all. It's not a long show, but I just thought it was a bit different. Before the World Cup for the old Euro start. We'll keep going during the Euros. Yeah, why not? So let's get swirling with the burden. Right. Okay. So, I'm going to start. The first one we have is actually a goalkeeper. He's been on the channel. It's Mr. Bobby Ferguson. Bobby Ferguson had the number 14 shirt in the 75-76 season. He made 277 appearances for the club. Didn't score any goals. Part of his game he should have really worked on, to be honest. But Bobby Ferguson was the first ever player to have the number 14 shirt. There we go. And obviously, they had squad. The numbers were sort of 1 to 11, obviously, and then they had substitutes as well. So Bobby Ferguson was it. Next up, after Mr. Bobby Ferguson, was Mr. Kevin Locke. Mr. Kevin Locke wore the number 14 shirt. I'm going to put the dates on it next time because I think it's interesting to see. But he wore the number 14 shirt between the 75-76 season. He made 165 played 165 times for the club, scored 2 goals as well. So there we go. And Gary likes Bobby Ferguson. I love Bobby Ferguson. He was a great My Hammers ever. Make sure you check it out. Top boy. Really, really top boy. I know, 277 games. Shocking, isn't it? And I thought Thomas Repka's return was bad. But there we go. Hello, Ben. Hope you're well as well, man. So that was Kevin Locke. Before my time. Next, another guy I've had on the channel, actually. Mr. Stuart Slater. Mr. Stuart Slater wore the number 14 shirt in the 88-89 season. And he made 179 appearances for the club, scored 18 goals, and a wonderful man. Very, very sweet person. So far we've got Bobby, we've had Kevin Locke, and we've got Stuart Slater. Next is another guy who I was surprised that he wore the number 14 shirt, but it was towards the end of his career at West Ham. It's Mr. Ray Stewart. Mr. Ray Stewart wore the number 14 shirt in the 1990-91 season. And so he counts, but you might not want to vote for him. You might think he deserves a number 2 shirt, for example. And that's the beauty of this. And that's why I started from 14 onwards, for that exact reason. So Ray Stewart's he's the next one, and obviously we're going chronologically. Then after that, again, another guy I've had on the channel, actually, Leroy Rossignol, 67 games, 23 goals. Top man, he was a top. He's a top man, Slater's. He was a fantastic talent, Stuart Slater, and Gary loves Tonka as well. I'm glad. Leroy Rossignol, we've had him on the channel. Lovely bloke, top guy. 67 games for the club, 23 goals. Fantastic story about his debut. I think we signed him on the Friday, and I think he started on the Saturday. He literally walked into the changing room on the Saturday and was given the number 9 shirt. He hadn't trained or anything like that. I think they bought from QPR. I think he was. Someone will correct me if that's wrong. But lovely bloke, a fantastic bloke. So we've got. Now we're going to move on from Mr. Leroy Rossignol. The next one you can pick is a goal scoring legend. Again, we've had him on the channel. We've done all right for number 14s. Mr. Trevor Morley. Mr. Trevor Morley wore the number 14 shirt in the same season as Leroy Rossignol, the 91-92 season, because obviously they didn't have squad, so to speak, then. So they were both wore the number 14 shirt. So Leroy wore it, and also Trevor Morley won it. So a couple of fantastic strikers there who went on to have great careers. Is there anyone you don't love, Gary? Gary loves it. Look, Lord Liam, as long as they put the West Ham shirt on, that claret and blue, we love anyone, really, don't we? Surely. So that's Trevor Morley. Next up, Trevor Morley, another guy. This is three in a row we've had on the channel. That must be some record. And if I hadn't had Ray Stewart, we'd have had almost everyone so far. So we've had Trevor Morley, and ironically, he's one of his good friends. Ian Bishop wore the number 14 shirt. He ended up making 304 appearances for the club, scored 17 goals. He wore the shirt in the 93-94 season. So it was his squad number. It was his actual squad number, because that was the first season, 93-94 season, where we had squad numbers. Obviously, the first season back in the Premier League. Obviously, we went up in 92-93, didn't we? So he had a squad number, and it was number 14 for that season. Then they went back to 7. Obviously, traditionally was. I like that kit too. Hockey keeper. It was all bubbles, wasn't it? It was our centennial kit. I like the badge on it as well, the big old fashioned badge. And that kit always reminds me of John Moncur. It's funny how certain kits remind you of certain people, and that always reminds me of John Moncur for some reason. So Mr. Ian Bishop, he wore the number 14 shirt. Next up, another guy I'm trying to get on the channel. I'm trying. He'll be a really good interview, I think. He wore the number 14 shirt, I want to say, for 2 seasons. Yeah, the 91-92 season he wore it as part of, obviously not a squad, but then he got that squad number in the 94-95 season when Bishop went back to 7. Matty Rush, 55 games, 5 goals, all the 5s, and I very much hope to have him on the channel soon. We're trying with Matty. Lovely guy, and I think he retired at the age of something like 26, 27. Incredible, life, really. For football, obviously, very, very short, really. So one day I'd like to have a proper chat with him about that. It'd be interesting. I believe he then went his wife was a tennis player, I think, and I think now his daughter is, or something like that. So Matthew Rush. Next up, another striker, actually. Another striker. Squad numbers. He had that squad number. Let me just check. In the 97-98 season. Was that the year? No, it wasn't. It wasn't that year. It's Mr. Ian Dowie. 95 games, 15 goals for the club, 2 spells as well. Famously, we signed him the same season. We re-signed him the same summer. Actually, we signed Marco Boogers. And speaking of Marco Boogers, he's the next on our Hammers in Hot Water series coming up. Next episode, we did Savio last week, and this week it is Marco Boogers. That's coming out on Saturday. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Anyway, little plug. So Ian Dowie is the next one up. After Ian, there's lots of strikers here. I'm just looking at the list. There's loads of strikers. Next up, a guy who made an incredible impact, I think, for a very short amount of time he was at the club, Mr. Ian Wright. Ian Wright had the number 14 season shirt in the 98-99 season and in the 99-2000 season. Obviously, our best ever Premier League finish. We finished 5th, just missed out this year on 6th. But obviously, that's part of the Intertoto Cup. And we hope to have another one of that era coming on the channel, hopefully next week. So keep an eye out for that. Another great My Hammers 11 coming up, if I say so myself. That last one, the picture looks incredibly weird, like his body had been stretched, but forgot to do the shave with the head. I think it was an unflattering picture. Let's be honest, Lord Liam. I think it was slightly unflattering, bless him. So yeah, Ian Wright. Now we've got another striker, I think, next. Yeah, another striker. A guy, I just wish he'd done a little bit more. I was so excited when we signed him. I remember his debut being that Wimbledon game where obviously Di Canio scored that goal, and he was brilliant. He was my Thierry Henry. I really thought he was going to kick on, but he never really kicked on. Who did I interview? I can't remember. I've got a feeling it was. Oh, it's going to really annoy me now. We interviewed someone, and they basically said that this guy was brilliant if he, got up at the right side of the bed. And that's Mr. Freddie Canute. 92 games, 33 goals, one goal every 3 games. I've done the maths. That isn't a bad ratio, really, is it, to be honest? I quite like that feeler kit. I think that feeler kit was quite cool. We've got some top strikers. I mean, Wrighty was a top striker. The thing about Ian Wright, I always remember Ian Wright. He would always get man of the match. He might not be even go on the pitch for more than 5 minutes, and he was man of the match, because obviously the sponsors, they would pick the man of the match, wouldn't they? And they obviously would go and get to meet them after the game, and obviously everyone wanted to meet Ian Wright. And so vis-a-vis, he always got man of the match. Yeah, Freddie was very good. He was really good, wasn't he? He had just I remember that debut, and everyone was like, sign him up. That's what he's probably doing there. He's probably gesticulating that I should be signed up. We got him on loan, didn't we, originally? I think, or was it a trial? I can't exactly remember. But he was brilliant, and he was the most like Thierry Henry we've had as a striker. And I always for me, Thierry Henry was a top boy. He was the top boy for me. I remember seeing him. Top players don't run, they glide, and he used to. In that invincible years, he would glide. I remember seeing him at Upton Park once, and he just ripped us a new one. He was fantastic, and this boy, he could have done it, but he didn't do it at us, really. 90 games, 32 goals, not a bad return. He did the same at Tottenham. He didn't obviously set the world alight there, and then Seville was the one he sort of really made. He was on loan from Lyon. Thank you very much. Yes, I believe he is an agent now. We're trying to get him on the channel. I think it'd be really interesting. He does a lot of I think he's an agent, but he's involved in FIFA in terms of the coaching badges. So if you follow like anyone like Zavon or Marlon on Instagram, and they do like a screen, they show the Zoom call. Freddie Canute is always in that. He's always in that Zoom call. I don't know what he's doing, but he's always in that Zoom call. Bless him. So Freddie Canute, he won number 14 shirt. Next one, probably the least likeliest to win this shirt, to be honest. He played 27 times for the club, no goals. Wayne Quinn. Wayne Quinn won it wore it in the 2003-2004 season, that Reebok era. Didn't really set the world alight, did he? Who recommended him? Oh, again, we interviewed someone and they recommended him. Might be, I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But they recommended Wayne, and I think they actually ended up putting him in their team in their 11 because they recommended him. They said if I hadn't put him in, I would have been in trouble. But we hopefully have Wayne on soon. I look forward to having a good old chat with Wayne. That'd be really interesting. Next up, so we've had Canute, we've had Dowie, we've had Ian Wright, we've had Canute, we've had Wayne Quinn. I almost said Ray Quinn. Ray, remember him from X Factor? Oh, I hated him. He was like my nemesis. Ray Quinn was not Wayne. Wayne was a lovely boy. Next up, another guy, Chris Cohen. Do you remember Chris Cohen? 22 games, no goals. I think he ended up going to Forest and playing many, many games at Forest. He had the 14 shirt, I believe, for 2 seasons. The 04-05 season, 05-06 season. Again, made 22 games for the club. Played fair enough. Was a good player, wasn't he? Was a good player. Now that shirt, that job serve shirt, that always reminds me of Teddy Sheringham. That reminds me of Teddy Sheringham, that job serve. And my computer's just switched off. Oh, my computer's just completely switched off. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. My computer just completely switched off. That was really weird. That was very strange. Stephen doesn't remember Wayne. Oh, Steve. There was we had a few left backs that time, if I'm right in thinking. Canute is nice one, Kai. Is Daka's agent, which is why we were linked, because Freddie enjoyed his time at West Ham. I hope so. Interesting. Exactly. And it's live. You can tell we're live when the computer gives up. It's because it's a hot day. It's a hot day, isn't it? Hot day. And I'm putting I'm actually exporting a video for the next one. Looks like a young Jack Collison. And obviously Jack has just been announced to be the Atlanta United number 2 or Atlanta second team coach. So good luck on him. Right, who is next? So Chris Cohen, 22 games, no goals, and then I think we went to and then it was Forest he went to and played a lot of games at Forest, if I remember. Next up, we have we had all the strikers, and now we're going more fullbacks. So we had obviously Wayne Quinn. Next is another guy, we've had him on the channel. Loved chatting to him. Only played 24 times for the club, but you'd have thought the way he spoke, he would have made the same amount of appearances as Billy Bombs. It's Johnny Pantsill. Johnny Pantsill, Excel.com. That's before the patch era. 24 games, no goals. Obviously, went and played a lot of games for Fulham and stuff like that. Pantsill had it from the 06-07 season and the 07-08 season. So fair play to him. Fair play to him. Love chatting to Johnny. If you haven't listened to it, it was good fun. What we've got here, what's Carl saying? Missed the quiz earlier. I was at work and we'll miss the fun. Oh, what's going on? Coming out of lockdown, struggles of missing show. That's why you can watch them later on, Carl. You don't get the intimacy. You don't get that sort of togetherness, but you can watch them afterwards, man. And we all will. I'm gonna have to. There'll be time. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised in a few weeks' time. I'll only be doing a couple of days a week because I'll be back in the office. So we'll see, but we'll keep the fun going while we can. Anyone watching Monday to Friday at the moment, 12:30, we have a little chat. We talk about nonsense. We're going to start a new, actually starting tomorrow, we're going to do where I usually do what sweets has Russ got, what crisps has Russ got, what chocolate bars Russ got. One of those, we're actually going to do who's Russ got in his Euro 2020 pack. Now, it is Pantsill or Paintsill. both have been. He had. I think he's actually. I think his registered name is Paintsil, but Pantsil was also used in his shirts as well. So I put both. That's what it was. There you go. So we've had Johnny P. Johnny P's in. Next one. A guy that I know, Derek from West Ham Way loves. Another Czech boy. Arguably not as successful a Czech career as Ludo and Thomas Repka and Suchek and Sufel hopefully will have. Radislav Kovac. Radislav Kovac. 62 games for the club, 3 goals. He had the shirt randomly in 08-09, and then he didn't, and then he had it back in 10-11. I think. No, to tell I didn't. Sorry, I didn't. He had it all through that time. So he had 08-09 and then 09-10. So I just forgot there was like a hyphen. I forgot about writing. And then in 2010-11. My funny story about Radislav Kovac. We was when we did the kids did all the open training sessions, and obviously we had to do a virtual one this year because obviously of COVID. And Radislav, I was doing the comparing, and it was absolutely pissing it down. It was so wet, it was so rainy, and basically Big Sam made all the kids and the parents sit in a centenary upper, so they couldn't do any autographs, they couldn't do anything like that at all. So that was pointless. And I was doing the announcing. I had the old mic up, and we chatting, sort of trying to sort of understand what Sam's doing. And then this guy taps me on the shoulder, and it's Radislav Kovac. He's got a tee on the go. He's got a beanie hat. He's got his tracksuit. I turned to him and went, "Ain't you meant to be fucking out there?" He went, "Shh. I won't tell if you don't." And then he just went back in. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, oh well. Radislav wore the number 14 shirt. Next up. Another sort of fullback, but played a wing, cracking left foot on him. Matty Taylor. He wore the number 14 shirt from 11-12 for three years. 11-12, 12-13, 13-14. Part of obviously the championship promotion side. 90 games he played for the club. That's a lot of games, isn't it? 3 goals. 90 games. Thanks, Kimbo. Something to look forward to. Yeah, well, that's what we do, man. We have a giggle. And so does everyone, all the West Ham people. Pantsil was less letters and probably less expensive, indeed. Didn't they used to pay? Didn't you used to sort of do it by the letter if you're doing your shirts? I used to remember that. Maybe not the case, but wouldn't want to rat on a check, Russ. Radislav was all right. He was a nice guy. I would have never guessed Matty had that many games. Was exactly. Well, I suppose he was around for three seasons, really. So 30 games a season. That ain't a bad return, is it? And obviously, I thought he was great. I really like Matty Taylor. He's just got a new job, isn't he? Who's he manager of now? I had it all written down. Matty Taylor. I want to say Carlisle or something like that. No, I want to get the right Matty Taylor. Matthew Taylor. That's it. He is. I swear he's just got a new job. Walsall. Fair play to him. Only 3 goals. Surprising, one would have thought of more. But he was more of a Aaron Cresswell. He'd probably got a hell of a lot of assists, wasn't he? It was a traditional left winger, go down the byline, nippy, great sort of whip on him to get the balls in. He was a great. I like Matty Taylor. I was really pleased. Part of that sort of Bolton renaissance that came with it, with him, and you had Kevin Nolan, albeit obviously he was at Newcastle, but Kevin Nolan, you had Jussi Jääskeläinen, you had Abdoulaye Faye, you had all these sort of Bolton players who played at Bolton at the same time. Top bloke. Walsall. Not Asda. He hasn't got a new job at Asda. He was Tottenham youth team manager, wasn't he? I think. Don't think much of him at that time, but going back and watching old games of Real, I think a lot of those players have, to be honest. You know what I mean? they all made a big difference. Yeah, I think we did both and bottom. Oh, Big Sam. So Matty Taylor. Only a couple more left. Next, a guy who could have been king. Ravel Morrison. Only 24 games for the club, 5 goals. He wore, you can see in his shorts, he wore 15 as well, but he wore the 14 shirt. He wore the 14 shirt in the 14-15 season. The season before that, he wore the 15 shirt. So who wore? I got to yes, because then Sacco, then in Diafra Sacco wore the 15 shirt and he took the 14 shirt. Simples. But yeah, Ravel Morrison, what could have been? What could have been? Currently training with a Jamaican team, according to his Instagram at the moment. But I loved him. Yeah, it was. It wasn't necessarily a waste. It was. Yeah, I think he wasted his talent. I think he just wasted his opportunity. He hadn't a fan. He was. I mean, that goal, that Tottenham goal, in it. Just, and every time you talk to someone about him, they all, yeah, exactly. World of a goal against Tottenham, and everyone talked about, when you say, a lot of players who played with him, he'd be in there at Hammers 11. Morrison would be, and they just say he was just the most gifted player I've ever seen, but he just didn't have the application or the aptitude or application. One of them, he had the skill, but he just didn't have to take it to the next level. Don't know if I was like them as much. But yeah, I imagine that's what Matty Taylor. No, I agree, man. Our team does. I think this current squad does. To be fair, and then the last one, I can't believe how many games this guy played. He had the 14 shirt, and technically we could have put in Frederick Alves, but he hasn't actually played for the first team yet, so I haven't put him in the team because he's obviously got the 14 shirt this year. This guy had the shirt for the 15-16 season, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19. Again, another worldie against Tottenham, albeit in the cup at Wembley. Pedro Obiang. 116 games he played for us, 3 goals, one of them being against Tottenham. So that's not all bad. But 160, that's a lot of games, isn't it? And ironically, we could have done with him this season. I think when Jet Deck was injured, he would have started in quite nicely. And he did quite a lot, didn't he? I mean, there was a lot of time where he started. He was almost like part of the first team. Then he sort of got out, and then he was a good sort of replacement to bring on. What is Lord's doing? Ravel to me is a huge case of what could have been. He could have been up there and the Pirates, if you see it. Totally, man. And it wasn't for want of trying from the players. He was just, I just think he got in the wrong crowd, wasn't it, really? And everywhere he's gone since, he hasn't really. I think West Ham, personally, was his most prolonged period in the limelight. You think Man United, he wasn't in. West Ham, he had all that time, and obviously the Tottenham game, and he played 25 games, but made a big impact. And everywhere he went, Sheffield United, he went QPR. QPR did all right, but not not great. He went to Mexico, didn't he? He went to Den Haag. He went all over the place and just couldn't do it. Yep. Obbs was good. He was a star. Could really do it now, but he deserves first team. Seems a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a lovely boy. Lovely boy. We've had some good chats. Unfortunately, he can't get permission for his club to come on Miami's 11. But yeah, top bloke. Was the top that made us beat them? No, that was not at their stadium. No, that was Antonio, wasn't it? This was in the cup when they were at Wembley, when they'd moved out to do a loft extension on their stadium. He scored an absolute banger of a goal. Go back and look at it on YouTube, man. Indeed, I know you meant Obiang. I know you meant. So that's the list. There's a lot there. We'll go through them very quickly. Let's go back to the beginning just so we can see, and then I will send you the link. Put the link, and you can vote. We've got all week to vote. So obviously we had Bobby Ferguson, we had Kevin Locke, we had Stuart Slater, forgot his name there. We had Ray Stewart, we had Leroy Rossinia, we had Trevor Morley, we had Ian Bishop, we had Matty Rush, we had Ian Dowie, we had Ian Wright, lots of Ians, that's 3 Ians, and we had Freddie Canute, Wayne Quinn, Chris Cohen, John Pancil, Radoslav Kovac, Matty Taylor, Ravel Morrison. I always say it was like Sai, I think, with him. Pedro Obiang. So basically, your club needs you. Your club needs you. We're putting together this awesome. Can't wait for the day you have him on. I was there first day, and he tore that up the park going good. So you're going to go. But I mean, you have to think, Kimbo. Would you want Ray Stewart to win the 14 shirt, or would you want Ray Stewart to potentially win the number 2 shirt? See, to me, Ray Stewart is number 2. Not 14. 14, it was 90, 91 season. So, that's up to you. So, basically, what we're going to do is I'll put it in the let me just copy this so you can see it. You can just link to it straight away. But I'm going to also share it on the screen. So what we have is we've got a little not that one, not Wham Watch. if you want to buy a Wham and hashtag Wham Watch, you're more than welcome to on Twitter. So what we're going to do exactly, my friend, exactly. So you've got to be clever. Got to be clever. So if I'll put it in the description. We don't have to do it now. We're going to have it open for the week, and then the next episode we'll announce the winners of the 14 shirt, and then we'll do 15. It makes sense. So if you go to that, what you can do is let's take that out. What you can do is basically you can vote. It's very, very easy. It's just one question. You go in, and basically you tick the person you think should win the number 14 shirt. As I said, we'll keep it open for the week, and then we'll go back into it, and then we'll announce the winners when we do the next episode, which will be probably next week sometime. And then we'll do it in the 15. So then you'll have Ravel. So if Ravel Morrison wins it, he obviously won't go into the 15. If Ray Stewart won it, he wouldn't go into the number 2. Does that make sense? I think it's a relatively simple idea. But we'll get some guests on sometimes. Next week I hope to do the next appreciation night. We're going to do Alvin Martin appreciation night. That'll be next week, so keep an eye out for that. Tomorrow we've got our 12:30 Fun Day Friday where people can come on and have a chat. Just have a chat. Euros kick off tomorrow as well. Speaking of the Euros, we have got tomorrow afternoon. We've got our My Hammers 11. We've got Paul Fake. You've seen him and Len have been doing Canningtown Len are doing a collaboration. He's got a Euro 2020 song out called Good Times Again. And we might even play a bit tomorrow. Might as well. And we did a great My Hammers 11 with him. He's a lovely guy. And not only has he written a song, he's a musician, but he's a hammer. And don't we just like hammers doing well? So, check it out. It's the video went out today on Canningtown Len's YouTube channel and Paul's YouTube channel. It's available on Spotify, all the music streaming sites. So start downloading, start listening to it, and we'll see if we can give it some airtime. But that'll be out tomorrow, so check that out. And then obviously tomorrow, and then on Saturday we should have Hammers in the Hot Water, where we're looking at Marco Boogers. We may have a My Hammers 11 X Hammer on Sunday. Depends if we can get him to record it in time. If not next week, we've got a good one next week. I don't know what number shirt he wore, actually. Incidentally enough, he wore, I want to say, I don't know what shirt he wore, actually, at his time at the club. What number did he wear, Russ? I don't know, Russ. I think he's around the 20s, I think, but he's a top bloke. So that'll be on probably Tuesday that week. So wonder where Paul Real is. Who's Paul Real? Oh, Paul Fake. Sorry. Oh, I get you. What a fucking idiot. Yeah. Very, very funny car. Very funny. He's a lovely boy. And the thing was, I was going to do his picture, but he looks a bit like Russell Brand. And I think people might think that I've interviewed Russell Brand. I haven't interviewed Russell Brand yet. So I'm just putting the cartoon up there because he looks a bit like him, I think, particularly on a rubbish Zoom call connection as well. Do you know what I mean? So, it's all good in the hood. So anyway, something a bit different. As I said, we'll do these little short, sweet, half-an-hour shows. Here's the players. Then go and vote who you want to be, and then next week, and then we do simple. As I said, it's the first episode, and some episodes we might get someone on, have a chat, that type of thing. I think it's nice to the chats in the evening as well, so we'll see. I know I can't believe it. I just didn't get it. But yeah, no. But make sure you ever listen to it. If you like punk, it's a bit punky. It's all about, we haven't won. England hasn't won. Fuck all that type of thing. But anyway, I'd say it's still on. I'll hop over to them. I'd say it's still on. Okay, we'll go and watch. Are they still chatting on? Jesus. Force your minds to go and chat. If you're fancy going to have a chat, go and pop over and say hello to them. Make sure you go and have a chat. I might pop over and say hello anyway. And anyway, guys, until next time, take care, everyone. Stay safe, wash those hands, get those jab appointments, cut on new irons, and I'll see you again tomorrow, 12:30. Take care, everyone. Much love. Bye-bye.